What's up, guys? It's me again. So today we got something new going on. First time ever welding. Yes, today I'm going to be a master welder. Welding is something I've been wanting to do for a while now, and I probably have about at least 12 hours of YouTube University, and I probably have about the same amount of hours on hands training, just doing stuff around my house, doing some welding. I bought myself a MIG welder, and I'm gonna be using flux. So this customer's house, the fence post on the bottom that leads to the pool rusted out, and I need to weld it back on. So that's exactly what I'm gonna be showing you today, guys. Never done it before, so it's my first time. Do I want to make a living welding? No. But if I have a small job like this, I'm not gonna call a welder to come over and fix it for me. I can do it myself and make the money myself. Am I gonna get rich welding? No, you're not. And to be honest, I don't recommend welding to be your main source of income, because it just doesn't make enough money compared to being a handyman. Just to give you a perspective, locally in my area, I can hire a welder that probably has, hundreds of hours of experience minimum for 200 to 250 bucks a day. I'm talking about 8-hour day, and then I can hire anybody, and for that much money, they will weld non-stop anything I wanted to weld. That may seem like a lot of money for some of you. Welding is not easy. It's hard work. It takes a lot of time. To be honest, that's not enough for me, guys. So I wanted to learn how to weld because I like to do things myself. And as a handyman, you're supposed to be able to do everything, because you're a handyman. Now, are you going to be able to do everything to perfection? No, of course not. Maybe over time, but it'll be good enough to get paid. That's how I put it. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna weld that up, and I'll be recording it and showing you guys how it goes. And towards the end of the video, I'll be discussing how much I'm charging for this job. Alright guys, let's get to it. So here it is. As you can see, the post rusted on the bottom. The paint peeled off, and over the years they had a mister close by just spraying water. So it rusted out and separated from the plate on the ground. So the first thing I'm doing right here is I'm putting a wedge on the bottom, make sure that it's exactly where I want the gate to close. Cleaning everything off, getting all the big chunks out of it, and then just putting a wedge on the bottom. So that way I know for sure that's exactly where I want the gate before I start cutting any metal and then welding anything on it. So, yep. So my initial plan was to use this L-shaped piece of steel and cut it to size and just weld it together. That was the initial plan, but I changed my mind because if you see right here, it wasn't wide enough to cover the entire post. So what I did actually, I got something else. I got a piece of straight steel, and I made my own L shape. Thankfully, I got two pieces. I got the L shape, and then I got a piece of 3/16 straight, just piece of steel, and you'll see in a minute how I cut it to size, and I made my own L shape. One of the things that I've learned in my limited welding experience is the cleaner the metal, the easier it is to weld. So what I'm doing right here, I'm just trying to clean up the metal, get all the paint and the rust off. The plate on the ground, thankfully, was actually thicker metal, so it was just rust, surface rust. So that grinded right off, no issues at all. So I didn't have to install a new plate in the concrete. So what I'm doing right here, like I said, just cleaning everything off, making everything flat, so that way it welds a lot easier. And then in just another minute, I'm gonna be making my own L-shaped piece of metal that I'm gonna be welding onto the post. Why didn't I remove the entire post and put a new one in? Because there was no need. I guess to be honest, I could have easily done that. Just gotten a piece of square 2x2 tubing and then just cut the entire fence off and then welded a new piece on and charged the customer a lot more money. But in reality, I mean, that would have been ripping them off because it's just not required. They would have believed everything I told them. They would have paid me whatever money I would have charged for it, but it just wasn't required. So that's the reason why I didn't do it. This was the easiest, fastest way to fix this problem, and then it's going to last many years. So being honest, as a handyman, is always going to pay off because if you're not, you may get away with it, but it will catch up to you sooner or later, and it's gonna bite you in the butt. But anyways, yeah, that's what I'm doing right here. So let's keep going. This is the welder that I got. I got it from Harbor Freight. It's a Vulcan 215. I mean, I had to buy a helmet. I had to buy wire. So the whole investment for this welding, I guess, job was about, I would say, $1,200–$1,300. I already had the I had already purchased a welder probably about 2 months before this job for just personal use. I was just interested in learning to weld. Originally, I wanted a miller, but I saw the prices, and then I just, I think I couldn't justify spending $2,000, $2,500 just for something that I was gonna use maybe a few times a year. But the Vulcan's working great. I checked the reviews online, and I haven't had any issues at all. I'm very happy with it. It comes with warranty, so if something breaks, I can easily take it back. So it's no big deal. This is why I don't understand why welders don't really make as much money as a handyman, especially in my area. The investment in tools that you have to, fork out to just start welding, then you gotta learn to weld. Then it's not something that you just learn. It's not like changing a ceiling fan where, okay, fine, you don't have any experience. It may take you 2-3 times longer than somebody that has done it before. Welding is just not like that. Welding, you actually have to weld and then get experience. So you're not only welding faster in the future, but you're also doing a better job. So for them not to make as much money as a handyman, I just don't understand it. But it is what it is. But yeah, so.
Alright, so here I'm all done welding, and the last thing to do is just to tape everything off and just paint it. I know the paint looks lighter than the existing color, and it's just the way it is because the fence has been painted for, that way for several years, so even if I got the same color, it wouldn't match. I did tell them the color is not going to match, and then it will, fade over time, and hopefully it will match a lot better. But they were happy about it. The fence is functional. It's going to last for many years. This paint that I'm using has primer in it, so and as long as I keep spraying it every year, every other year, just to make sure the water doesn't get in there, it should last a lot. It should last a long time. Actually, longer than the original fence, since the steel that I used on this was 3/16. The existing fence, the post, I believe was probably 16 gauge, so a lot thinner metal than what I used. So I guess the only thing that's going to fail in the future is just going to be the existing post rather than the repair that I did. But yeah, everything looks great. It took, it didn't really take that long. I'm sure if I had experience doing this, it probably would have gone a lot faster. But it works great, and I'm happy, they are happy, it's functional. So, and this is how you are actually going to overcome issues as a handyman. You just gotta go for it and get it done. There's just no other way to do it, guys. Don't be afraid, because fear is not gonna pay your bills. It's gonna do the opposite.
All right, guys. So that job is done. As you saw, it took me about, I think, maybe 30 to 45 minutes. I'm sure somebody with experience probably could have gotten done a lot faster. It's not the best. If I had to rate myself, I'll probably give me a B plus maybe. But yeah, the more you do it, the more proficient you are going to become, and it looks good enough to get paid, right? The customer is happy about it. Gate works, it closes, and then it should last for many years. I made a few mistakes, which I learned, and they're not gonna happen again. So that's what's all about, guys. You need to learn from your mistakes so you become more proficient. But yeah, so I'm charging $150 for that job. Like I said, if it looked a lot better than that, I'd probably charge more. But I learned and got paid for it. So what more can you ask for? All right, guys. So as always, comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you next time.